I want to start today's video by offering our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of the 4 cruise passengers on the New Amsterdam and the pilot who have lost their lives on a float plane excursion in Ketchikan, Alaska. Our thoughts and our prayers are with them today, and this reminds us to really love and care those that are around us, because you never know when a terrible accident like this can happen, and you never get the chance to tell people how much they mean to you and how much you love them. So, but again, our heartfelt condolences go out to the family and friends of those individuals. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. So, Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas has received her conditional sailing certificate from the CDC after successfully completing her test cruise, and is scheduled to start revenue-generating sailing just this coming weekend here on August the 8th. And tomorrow, August the 7th, Norwegian Cruise Lines is going to begin United States sailings from Seattle on Alaska cruises with the Norwegian Encore. And of course, this will be Norwegian Cruise Lines' return to U.S. sailings since the beginning of the pandemic. So, recently we've had a lot of discussion about some of the new mask requirements, the new testing requirements coming out on cruise ships. And while there have been quite a few comments recently about people that said they are going to either move their cruise or cancel their cruise, the cruise lines themselves are still reporting that they are heading towards a cash positive position. So apparently, with all of the pent-up demand for cruising, there has also been a bit of a pent-up demand to spend money while taking a cruise. Cruise ships say that even at limited capacity, revenues on board for onboard spending through excursions, casinos, and other services on board the ship are exceeding cruise line expectations by over 50%. So even with these cruise ships traveling at half capacity or even less, these cruises are still being profitable for the cruise lines, which means they're starting to make money again, which for them is very, very important after not sailing for so long and having no revenue coming in and reporting so much loss month after month after month. And we're talking in the millions of dollars. So it is a positive sign that there is a pent-up demand for cruising. It is a positive sign that people are getting on the cruise ships and they are spending money, which does continue to provide a positive restart for cruising, even in the middle of all this is going on with, like I said, masks and testing requirements and everything else that is going on, this ever-changing cruise experience. This thing changes day to day, week to week, month to month. The rules and requirements that we have today, I don't even know if these will be the same rules and requirements we will have by this time next week. Even as I sit here and prepare for a September cruise based on the rules and requirements that I've heard come out this week, they could even change again before it's even time for me to go. But even with all that going on, even with people saying they're going to cancel their cruise, the demand for cruises continues to rise and continues to go up. The spending continues to rise and continues to go up. And that is a positive sign for cruising. And finally, the case where Norwegian Cruise Lines was suing the state of Florida to get an injunction against the state of Florida for their "you cannot ask for a vaccination" status was scheduled to go to court today. Now, we have not heard any of the results from that as to whether or not it's been postponed, whether it's going to be granted or not granted. This was the first time it was going to court. It may be a couple days before we hear anything, and what we hear may mean nothing at this particular point. If you're not familiar, just to refresh your memory, Norwegian Cruise Lines has sued the state of Florida because of Florida's law that the cruise lines are not supposed to ask about your vaccination status, even though they are doing it anyway. But Norwegian Cruise Lines wants to sail at 100% vaccinated crew and 100% vaccinated passengers, which means in the state of Florida, if you were unvaccinated, they would deny you boarding on the cruise ship. And that's kind of where the Florida law is. It's not so much that they ask for your vaccination status, it's that they do not deny you boarding because you are unvaccinated. That would get the cruise lines in the real trouble, in real hot water, versus just saying, hey, volunteer your vaccine, and that way we can kind of balance it out. That's really how that law is working, and why people say, well, you know, there's this law in Florida, how are the cruise lines getting away with it? That's how they're getting away with it, and they're not even getting away with it. That's how they're coexisting with the law. As long as they don't deny people to get on the ship because of their vaccination status, they don't deny them services, they're okay. They can charge more for testing. They can require travel insurance. They can have additional masking requirements. They can section off parts of the ship and say, hey, this is for vaccinated only. All of that is okay. They just can't deny the boarding. That's kind of how that's actually working. But Norwegian Cruise Lines doesn't want to do any of that. They want 100% vaccinated, both crew and passenger. And that's what the lawsuit's about. And like I said, it did go before the judge today. And if we hear anything about that, we'll definitely let you know. All right, hope you did enjoy this quick cruise news videos. Not a whole lot was going on today, but did want to bring you the stories that did. So if you enjoyed today's video, let's give it a thumbs up. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you out on the high seas.